Hey everyone, I'm here at Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona, and you can see some of the canyon here behind me. I just got a couple of shots from the lodge and some of the viewpoints there. It was amazing. Like, it was as big as I was imagining it would be. So I'm only here for the day, unfortunately. This is a kind of a side trip from my Zion adventure. So it's actually fairly brisk here today. It was only like 44 degrees when I got to the parking lot. As you can see, I already got my winter hat on. And so I stopped at a viewpoint. And it's really windy today, so I'll probably do most of my talking from in the car. I knew the north rim was higher than the south, and at the lodge, it seemed like it's very level with the south rim, even though I know it's like 18 miles across, so I thought maybe that's why it looked like it was higher than it was. But at this viewpoint, I'm on my way to Cape Royal, and so I stopped at this viewpoint, and from here you can plainly see how much higher it is than the rim opposite where I am, which I think is getting into like the eastern side of the park. But yeah, it's crazy. It's mind-bogglingly huge. So I made it to Cape Royal. Walking up to it now, and according to the map, it should have some epic panoramas. Starting to get a glimpse of it now. Oh, I can't wait to get up to that point. It's gonna be so cool. So on my way out to the observation point at Cape Royal, there's this formation called Angel's Window, which is right over here. Big window in the rock. And based on the people walking across the top, it's gotta be 50 feet tall. It's hard to tell how big things are here. So that was the view from on top of that Angel's Window. I had to tie my hood down just to keep my hat from blowing off. It was incredibly windy. Now I'm walking over to Cape Royal Point. See what those views are like. And I can actually see the river from Angel's Window. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to see the river or not, but I could see one little stretch of it. So those are some of the views from Cape Royal. Really just epic views. I sat there for a while just trying to take it in, and it's like hard to wrap your head around it. But man, it's great views. I also met a couple, they live in Canada but are originally from the UK and Ireland, that are also high pointers. So that was fun, because you can actually see the high point of Arizona from here. It's like a long ways away, but you can see it. Yeah, so you can see Humphreys Peak from here, and they had just done it earlier this week. So we got talking about high points, and they're going to Zion, so we talked a little bit about that. It was fun. I was like meeting fellow high pointers. And the wind here has been crazy. Like, I've had my balance checked several times. It was blowing so hard. Alright, so I made it to Point Imperial. It's the highest point on the rim. There's a sign over there that says 8,803 feet. So supposedly this is the highest point that you can see the canyon from. And it's excellent views. Not quite as dramatic as Cape Royal, because Point Imperial is like kind of where the canyon kind of starts, on the upstream side of it. So it's still big, but it doesn't get really big until you round the corner, and it starts heading west by Cape Royal, in between there and South Village. But still pretty awesome. Alright, so I made it to the Kaibab Trail, which is what I'm on. It's much less windy here, which is sort of nice. It's also much warmer, especially when you start getting down into the canyon a little bit. I've only been on trail for like 10 minutes and I can already feel the difference. I'm not going to be able to go too far, probably another half hour or so, then I got to turn around. But the view's starting to open up a little bit out this way. Behind me is the canyon, and this is the only trail that goes over to the south rim, which I think I'd like to do at some point in my life. Not today, but I didn't really make it that far down the trail, which is fine. Made it to Coconino Overlook. Got some spectacular views of the canyon. A little mule train starting to come up, so I want to try and stay ahead of them. I just barely beat the mule team to the top of the Kaibab Trail. Some more coming up right there. Alright, so I'm heading out from here. This is my last stop. Grand Canyon was amazing, and I can't wait to come back and spend some actual time here instead of just a day trip. But what I saw was amazing. It was a nice teaser for what's in the park. And so I'm going to wrap it up here and make sure you leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment if you like. And I will see you in the next one.